Hello. In this video, I'm talking about the next topic of the collection framework that is called the queue interface. What is queue interface? What are the extra feature provided by the queue interface? Why we are using the queue interface rather than using the list interface and set interface? Because they have also provided the many way for storing the element and they have their unique priority, unique feature. List interface and set interface that are covered in previous videos. If you are not watching that video, so please watch that video. After that, watch this video. Queue interface have also provided some extra features, and a functionality by which we are able to store the element in different way and doing the operation on that. Okay, so what is the queue interface? What are the classes that implement the queue interface? And what are the method contained by the queue interface? All the information about queue interface are covered in this video. And notice point here is this is the last video of queue collection framework. After this video, your concept and your all information about the collection framework covered in this video. Okay, so I think this is part 7 of a collection framework and this is the last video of collection framework. After this, I started the new topic of the not a collection framework, that is different from collection framework, that is called the map interface. So this is the next topic of the core Java, but in this video I started the queue interface. So let's get started. What is queue interface? Before starting the queue interface, I want to revise quick revision of the list interface and set interface. What are the features provided by them and how the queue interface become different from all remaining two. Okay, so what is the list interface? What are the feature provided by the list interface? So first feature, we are able to insert the duplicates element. Second feature, we are able to store the null values. Third feature, that is we are able to store the insertion order result, means in which order element are inserted, at the same order element are stored into the memory. When I'm talking about the set interface, so in set interface we are not able to store the duplicates element. First property, we are not able to store the duplicate element. Second property, we are able to store the null values. Third property, we are not able to store the in which order element are inserted, at that same order element are not present in stored into the memory, means insertion order is not result into the set interface. Now I'm started the queue interface. So first way of queue interface, first of all, queue interface is a child interface of a collection interface that extend the collection interface. First property, that is very common property. Second is, by using the queue interface we are not able to store the null values. If I want to create any group of object in which this is the way, if I am going to create any project in which I want to create a group, I want to store the actual value only, means I forcefully didn't want to store any null value. So at that time we have to use the queue interface object. So the property are provided by the queue interface is we are not going to able to store the queue null value into the queue interface. Second property, duplicates element are allowed, insertion order is not reserved. Okay, and third is I am telling you, that is called the FIFO, means there is a concept of FIFO, means in which order we are able to insert the element. There is a different order are followed by the queue interface, that is called the FIFO, first in first out, means a element which are inserted into the queue at first time, this element are deleted or removed from the queue firstly. If you know about the stack that is present into the list interface, there is a concept of LIFO, last in first out. How the things are happen in stack, if you not know, so please watch the list interface video. After that your concept about stack is clear. So the way of storing the element into the stack is last in first out, means a element which are inserted last in the stack, that element are removed first from the stack. So this is a feature of stack. When I am talking about the queue interface, there is a concept of FIFO, first in first out. Element which are inserted into the queue firstly, at that element only when I am removing the element from the queue. So first element which are inserted first, that element only remove the first from the queue. Okay, so there are these are some features, and also one feature is we are able to store the heterogeneous object. When I am talking about the tree set class, then at that time I was telling you, in the whole collection framework there is only one class, that is called tree set class, that are present into the set interface. That class only are able to provide some constraint about the storing the element. Means in tree set class we are able to store only homogeneous object. We are not able to store the heterogeneous object. What is the meaning of homogeneous and heterogeneous? So homogeneous means we are able to store only one data type element into the group, and heterogeneous means we are able to store the different data type element into same group. So only tree set class that are restricted to store the heterogeneous object, and all the classes and interfaces are provided us the feature to import or element store the different type of element into the same group, means heterogeneous object are allowed into the queue also. So this is information about the queue interface, and sub method are contained by the queue interface. So let's get started. The information about the method are contained by the queue. So first method is that is called the offer method. Second method is poll method. Third method is peak method. What I am saying, offer method, poll method and peak method, and other three methods also present. The tasks are provided by these three methods, means offer, poll and peak, and remaining three methods. In both the cases the working of the all six methods are same. What I am saying, but the some differences into both the cases. Means let's assume this is the first case, this is second case. First case in which first method is offer method, second method is poll method, third method is peak method. This is second case. The first method is add method, second method is remove method, third method is element method. Okay, so the working of the offer method and add method is completely same. The working of the remove method and the poll method is completely same. The working of the element method and the peak method is completely same. The difference between both the cases is, in case 1 means where the offer, peak and poll method are present, if these methods are not able to perform their operation on the group of queue object, at that time they are responses the some values, that is the null value or a boolean value, that is false or true. When I'm talking about these three case 2 method, that are the add method, add remove method and last is the add, remove and element method. These three methods are respond us when they are not able to perform their operation on the group of object of queue. At that time they are responses the exception, throws exception. Okay, so according to their project you are able to use case 1 method or case 2 method. Working of both are same, but response means they are provided the different response when they are not able to perform their operation. These three methods are response simple, means null value or true boolean values, but these three methods are as throw the exception when they are not able to perform their operation. So by using the add element or offer method, we are able to insert the element into the queue. By using the remove method or poll method, we are able to remove element from the group, as well as also fetch the removable element. Which element are removed, that also fetch by using the poll element, and as well as that element are removed from the queue. Last method is peak method or element method. By using this method we are able to find the last element that are inserted into the queue, that is using that is peak method and element method. So this is all information about the queue interface. So now queue interface have two child class that are implement the queue interface. First child class is known as a priority queue. Second child class has named as a blocking queue. Priority queue as a class which implement the queue interface. Blocking queue is a class which implement the queue interface. Means two classes. First one is priority queue, second one is blocking queue. Now there is some restriction or some abstract class that are directly implement the queue interface, and after that abstract class are extended or a child class, that is priority queue and blocking queue. What I am saying, there is abstract queue class that implement the queue interface, and that abstract queue class are not visible, means this is hidden by the Java itself. Means abstract queue class is a abstract class that implement the queue interface, and that class abstract class are extended, means child class are present, that is named as the priority queue and blocking queue. So I'm not telling about the blocking queue. Blocking is queue is also used for storing the element into the same feature and same all the information feature or functionality inherited by the set queue interface, but some extra feature are provided also. In this video I'm talking about the priority queue class. So first of all, by using priority queue class, we are able to store the element in which they are not in thread safe. What I'm saying, when I'm creating the object of priority queue class, that all objects are not the thread safe. When I'm talking about thread safe, so you have to understand the concept of threading. If you're not watching the video of multi-threading, so please go and watch that video. After that, your concept about threading is clear. But the quick revision and the concept about the threading in this video, at that moment of time, I'm telling you, when multiple object, what I'm saying, when multiple objects are trying to use the same common resources at the same time, at that time there is a chances of data corruption. What I'm saying means object 1, object 2, object 3, all three methods are able to call the same method or using the same resources at the same time, then there is chances of data corruption. So this is the concept of threading. When I'm going to use the object of priority queue class, at that time our object are not thread safe. Second is null value are allowed and heterogeneous object are allowed. All the features are inherited by the blocking the queue interface. One method is as we are able to know that in a sorted set interface and the navigable set interface and tree set, when I'm creating the object of the group, automatically all the elements are sorted in natural ordering if they are in primitive type data type. Means if the element are object, a number or integer or a float or a string or a character, all the elements that are present into the group are sorted. Same here, when I'm creating the object of a priority queue class and adding the element into the priority queue object, all the element are stored into the memory into the some logical order that is called a sorting order. Means natural ordering are followed by the priority queue class object. But if you want to store some user defined classes object into the priority queue class object into the group, so you have to pass as a comparator object into the during creation object of the priority queue object. Understand? So let's talk about what are the constructor provided by the priority queue class. First constructor, that is called in which by default its size is 11 and natural ordering are followed. Means if I am going to store the element or integer type, so there is some default size of a priority queue that is called 11 and natural ordering are followed. Second, in which we are able to pass any object of collection interface, and that object are automatically converted from that class object collection interface object into the priority queue object. Third is in which we are able to pass the initial capacity or initial size of the priority queue class. Fourth constructor, in which we are able to pass the initial capacity as well as the comparator at that time when we want to store the user defined class object into the group. According to that our requirement, we are able to sort the object of the user defined classes by using the comparator interface. If you're not watching the comparator video, so you have to watch that video, because very important concept about comparator and comparable in interview point of view. So you have to watch that video, very important video. Okay. And the fifth constructor, that is called in which we are able to pass the object of sorted set interface. So and last is if I want to convert or if I want to create any new priority queue object by using the existing priority queue object, so that existing object we are able to pass into the during creation of the new priority queue object. This is all information about the priority queue class. Some important information about priority queue class, that is, if I store some element into the group, means into the priority queue class object, and after adding all the element we are going to print that element, so that element are not printed same in natural ordering. Means sorted our element are sorted during when I inserted the element into the priority queue class, all the element are automatically sorted. But when I'm printing all the element of the priority queue class, that all the element are printed as same as is in that order in which they are inserted, but they are storing into the memory all the element are storing into the memory into the sorting order. All the element are stored into the memory into sorting order, but when I'm printing all the element by using the object of priority queue class, at that time they are showing us that they are follow the insertion order, in which order we are inserted at the same order they are printed. But if you want to check these elements are sorted or not, so you have to use poll method by using the poll or remove method. If you use removing elements from the priority queue class object, so all the objects are removed from the class or a group in the same as they are inserted into the, as they are stored into the sorted order. What I am saying, for example, 1 to 10 element I am inserted into the object of priority queue class, and shuffling means first 4, then 6, then 9, then 8 at the same or different way I inserted the 10 element from 1 to 10. If I want to print that all the element, they are follow same ordering in which they are inserted during printing the element. Now I want to delete the element from the queue by using a poll method or remove method. So first first operation of poll method, 1 is removed because they are inserted into the sorted order into the memory in sorting order. They are follow the natural sorting. So first is 1 out, then 2 out, then 3rd, then 4th, 5th. Is in this way in sorting order all the elements are removed from the queue because they are followed the FIFO, first in first out, in which order they are inserted. First element are inserted first, then that element are removing first. And you know that all the element or priority queue are stored into the memory in sorting order, so they are follow the first element first. 1 is out, 1 is removed, then 2nd, then 3rd, then 4th, and last element that is 10 are removed from the priority queue object. At that way you are able to check that yes, all the element of priority queue are stored into the memory in sorting order, but when I want to print all the element by using the object of priority queue class, then they are printing us same as we are able to inserted that in which order. So this is all information about the queue interface. And if you want to know about the blocking queue class, I suggest you please visit the Oracle website. At that place you are able to see the some information about the all information about the all collection framework. Okay, so that is not going to use that much, so I'm not interested for creating the another video for blocking queue class. So this is the end of the collection interface. In this video I covered the complete the collection interface, what is the collection framework, what are the method, what are the different classes, what are the different interfaces that implement as well as extend the collection interface. Now after this video I started a new concept of the core Java that is called the map interface. What is map interface, what are the different classes and different structure of the map interface. So thank you for watching this video and see you in next one. I think your concept about queue interface are clear in this video. If you are not clear, so please comment it out and definitely response that your problem or your problem of the question. Okay, if I'm not able to do that, so I am going to create another video to taking all the problem or your doubt into one video. So see you next one and thank you for watching this video.